Hi, Sunny here. So the topic of today's video is quite subtle. So what that requires of us is that, well, first, when we talk about it, we're going to use very loose language. So that way it allows us to explore this topic without getting stuck in words. Okay, so don't hang on to any words. Don't try to interpret any words particularly. And second, it requires us to simply look into our experience. You cannot create a belief about this topic, especially based off of maybe what you hear today. That cannot just become a belief in your mind because it will not serve. We actually have to observe our experience and see if we can confirm what the teaching is asking us, inviting us to take a look at. Okay. So before we begin, I actually want to share a quote by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So let me bring up this quote. So Krishna says, the impermanent has no reality. Reality lies in the eternal. Those who have seen the boundary between these two have attained the end of all knowledge. Realize that which pervades the universe and is indestructible. No power can affect this unchanging, imperishable reality. The body is mortal, but that which dwells in the body is immortal and immeasurable. Therefore, Arjuna, fight this battle. Unborn, eternal, immutable, immemorial, you do not die when the body dies. So, what is this impermanent that Krishna is talking about that has no reality? And what is the permanent? What is the indestructible, imperishable reality he's speaking of? That is what we will explore today through the lens of self inquiry. So, what this requires, first and foremost, is for us to see what our experience really consists of. Take a look into your experience and see what it consists of. Consists of sights, sounds, smells, right? You get the gist. Taste, touch. Our entire experience of the world, what we call life, consists of the sense perceptions, the information of the sense perceptions. Then we go a little subtler. You have sensations such as pleasure, pain, emotions, right? Feelings, and thoughts. Thoughts, which is like the conceptualizing power of the mind, ideas about this and that. So our entire experience consists of sense perceptions, sensations, thoughts. This encompasses the world and the person, the body mind. And we can say that all of this experience is also accompanied by a sort of presence. So we can say that experience consists of all these sense perceptions, sensations, thoughts, and a presence which illuminates them, which is always just there. It doesn't have a form of its own, but it's just there as the formless stage in which all of this stuff appears. It is this presence which we feel in every moment as the now, as I. So this is like the changeless presence which accompanies all experiences which change. All sense perceptions continue to change. All sensations continue to change. Thoughts continue to change. So for the purpose of today's video, you can also look at the words born and dies. You can replace that with appears and disappears, or comes and goes. Once we have seen, okay, what does our experience consist of, right? Consists of those sense perceptions, sensations, and thoughts, and this presence. Now we see, okay, what is born and dies? What comes and goes? What appears and disappears? In other words, just what arises and subsides? What is seen to change? What is seen to come and go? Because that cannot be real. As Krishna said here, the impermanent has no reality. Reality lies in the eternal. So, through the lens of self inquiry, we carefully discern what comes and goes, what appears and disappears. Because what appears and disappears is what is born and dies. We're going to tie all this together in just a moment, but first we have to do this discernment process. All sense perceptions appear and disappear. All sensations appear and disappear. They are seen to change. All thoughts appear and disappear. Within these three buckets is the entire world and experience of the individual person that I am. The entire world constantly seen to change, appearing, disappearing, being born, dying every moment. The body appearing, disappearing, coming, going, being born, dying every moment, changing. Thoughts, feelings, being born, dying every moment, appearing, disappearing, changing. Even the ideas that these thoughts paint out about the world and who I am, right? The personality, self-image, even this, so changeful, coming, going, appearing, disappearing, being born, dying every moment. What witnesses all this change? Because you claim that you observe all of these things changing. Don't you feel a sense of continuity within yourself? You observe all of these things change, but you yourself don't change. Now, it can be tempting to say that I am this presence, that I am this sense of now or I, which changelessly accompanies all of these changeful experiences. And it wouldn't necessarily be wrong, but it's not the extent of what you are. Because even this presence is seen to appear and disappear. For example, when there is a phase of unconsciousness, sleep. In sleep, not only does all experience disappear, but also that presence, which illuminates the entire experience, disappears. But that, whose presence it is, does that disappear? Now, of course, that no longer remains as an experience you can have. That no longer remains even as a presence which can be identified. But what witnesses the coming and going of even presence and its associated objects? We say that I had the experience of sleep. Although sleep is not really an experience, it is the absence of experience. We still know that we slept. Sleep even came and went. This entire experience of presence and the world and the individual in it came and went. What witnesses its coming and going? Perhaps that is the direction we need to inquire in to discover this eternal self that Krishna is talking about in this teaching he gave to Arjuna. We say presence, right? So if you look into this very experience right now of you watching this video and sitting maybe on a couch, this entire experience is coming and going. And its coming and going is happening in a presence. So the presence isn't necessarily a form that's coming and going, but it surely is appearing and disappearing, such as sleep and waking. So when this experience comes on, it comes on simultaneously with presence. Whose presence is it? That's worth inquiring. What is present? Looking closely into experience, we can say that presence is mine because there's no distance between me and presence. There's no separation. There's no way that I can say that presence is in any way apart from me or at a distance from me. It is my presence. But who is this me whose presence it is? What is this self which remains when even presence is absent? What is it that is reflected in experience as presence? So if we take a look at Krishna's quote here again, he says, "The body is mortal, but that which dwells in the body is immortal and immeasurable." So this presence which dwells in the body, which dwells in the experience, it's not that this presence is immortal, but this presence is of that which is immortal, of that which is eternal, which is prior to the entire experience and even the presence. And again, it's my presence, right? So, through the lens of self inquiry, we are negating all that we are not. We are seeing all these experiences which are born and which die, which appear and which disappear. And we are letting go of associating our being with them, letting go of identifying with these experiences. Now, what is left is my presence. But even presence, although it's not a changeful experience, it also comes and goes with experiencing, such as in sleep. But that whose presence it is, that who witnesses the appearance of I am, this whole presence, and the experiences, that does not come and go. That is never born and never dies. It never comes into appearance and it never goes out of appearance. All that which comes into appearance and goes out of appearance, all that which is born and that which dies, is witnessed by that which does not come and go, which is not born and does not die. What is that? Imagine a clear lake, okay, within which the entire sky, the night sky with all the stars and clouds and the moon is reflected. The moon is like the face. The moon and the reflection of the moon in the lake is the face of the moon, right? The moon, when it sees itself in the lake, it sees its reflection. It also sees in the lake a whole world, a whole night sky. The water is like the mind, it's like the experience, it's like the reflecting power in which that immortal self can see its reflection. When the immortal self sees its reflection in the mind, it sees the entire world, all these changeful experiences. But when it looks at its own face, it sees this presence. When the moon looks in the lake, it sees the entire sky. When it sees itself, it sees its face, the reflection of the moon. Now, eventually, the lake may dry up, and the entire reflection of the night sky goes with it. Even the reflection of the moon goes with it. But does the moon go anywhere? These are just some helpful things that you can reflect on and contemplate that will really help you with this. These are sort of some examples which have really helped me to inquire into this and reflect on this. To say that I am born and I die, these are conceptual statements. We have to look more closely into them. What is born? What dies? We have to see that all that is born and all that dies is seen by me to born and die, to be born and die, to appear and disappear. What is it that I am which witnesses the coming and going, the birth and death of all that which comes and goes? That self we cannot experience. To know that self is to be that self. You are that which you seek. But you cannot hope to keep trying to experience that self, because anything you can experience is not it. Anything you can experience comes and goes, is born and dies, appears and disappears. It's not you. You would be the witness of its appearing and disappearing. So this teaching is about recognizing, discerning what I am versus what comes and goes. And we have to see, do I ever come and go? The whole experience of this person and world, the whole life story that's unfolding moment by moment, this whole appearance appeared. How did I come to know its appearance? It came into appearance. Does that mean I came into appearance? It was born. Doesn't mean I was born. I see it being born. All that which is born is being witnessed. Does I ever come into appearance? So through self-inquiry, we start to stop associating. We let go of us associating, identifying with anything that we perceive. Whatever is perceived, you cannot be. You are the witness of that which is perceived, but you are not that which is perceived. Anything you see, you are not. Yourself, you can never see, you can never know, you can never experience. You simply are yourself. So this practice is about being and not associating yourself with anything which comes and goes. In just that, you are being the immortal, eternal self. As Krishna says here, realize that which pervades the universe and is indestructible. No power can affect this unchanging, imperishable reality. That's really what self-inquiry practice is about. It's about seeing your face in every experience. What does your face look like in the mirror of experience? It looks like presence. All of experience is the reflection of the eternal, but the purest reflection of the eternal inside of the realm of mind is this presence, this changeless sense of self, sense of identity, sense of I, here, now. This pervades every changeful experience. Grow more aware of this. Hold it in your noticing. And gradually we start to become aware more and more of that, whose presence it is. That which remains even when the presence subsides. If you need help with this practice, join our free support group. We have a free self-inquiry mini course that you can go through and get started and start to deepen your practice. And in the support group, you can interact with others who are also practicing these teachings. It's really nice to have a tribe like that. You can ask questions, share your discoveries. So we look forward to seeing you there. Let me know what was your main takeaway from this video. Maybe it was confusing, maybe it was subtle, maybe you didn't like what was being heard. That's okay. Um, but try to be just open to the message. Again, don't create a belief about anything. I think it's not needed to create a belief that, oh, I am not born, I don't die. Of course, our experience appears that, hey, I am this body that was born and will die. But that's the opportunity here. We have to investigate this assumption, this belief that we have been taught, and learn to really see life as it is, myself as I am. We have to discern between what I am and what I am not. That is the essence of this entire spiritual path. And through it, only through our own discernment, not by whatever we are hearing other people say or reading in books, by our own discernment, by our own practice, within our own inner silence, inner quietude, inner fortitude, we'd start to discover ourselves as we really are, as that which does is never born, which never dies. So feel free to share your discoveries down below. I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time.